It's after midnight, September 26th, 1983. A man named Stanislav Petrov sits alone in the command center of a Soviet early warning system. The air is still. The room is quiet. Outside, the Cold War simmers just beneath the boil.
Not mere sentiment. No one could live long in Berlin without being completely disabused of illusion.
The United States has just deployed Pershing II missiles in Europe. The Soviet Union fears a first strike, and the slightest miscalculation could end the world. Then it happens. A warning appears on Petrov's screen, one missile launched from the United States. Seconds later, 2, then 3, 4, 5. The system screams confirmation. This is not a drill. Petrov is supposed to act. He's trained to follow protocol, to report to his superiors. If he does, the Soviet military might launch a full nuclear counterattack. Millions would die. But Petrov hesitates. Something doesn't feel right. Why only 5 missiles? Why not a full-scale assault? He studies the data, rechecks the readouts, cross-examines the satellite signals with ground radar. Still, the clock is ticking. The command center is holding its breath. Officers glance toward him. Tension builds with every passing second. He imagines the weight of a wrong call, mushroom clouds rising over cities, lives erased in a blinding flash. But the data doesn't back it up. No corroboration from ground radar. No confirmation from other channels. Protocol screams, report. His instinct whispers, wait. So Petrov breaks from protocol. He reports the alert as a false alarm. He was right. The system had malfunctioned. Reflections of sunlight on high-altitude clouds had fooled Soviet satellites. Stanislav Petrov, one man in one room, had prevented a nuclear war. But who was this man who defied the system? Petrov had been born in Vladivostok, the son of a World War II pilot. He trained as a radio engineer, eventually becoming part of the Soviet Air Defense Forces. By the early 1980s, he was stationed at Serpukhov 15, a secret facility monitoring satellite-based warning systems. It was a time of extraordinary tension. Only 3 weeks before the incident, the Soviet Union had shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007, killing 269 civilians, including a US congressman. The world was on edge. NATO was running war games that the USSR feared were cover for a real strike. Into this pressure cooker stepped Petrov, trained to trust the system, but also taught enough engineering to know it wasn't infallible. His decision that night wasn't just a gut feeling. It was the product of a mind that questioned assumptions, recognized patterns, and that stayed calm under unimaginable stress. Petrov didn't see himself as a hero. In fact, he was reprimanded, his decision buried. Awards came years later from countries that weren't his own. And yet, his moment of pause became one of history's most critical turning points. History is full of bold leaders and famous names. But sometimes, it's the unknown figures, the ones who pause, question, hesitate, that save everything.